Thank you, Coach. We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Tonight, we wrap up the first 13 weeks of the season with a good Monday nighter between the New Orleans Saints and the New York Giants. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
No, check, Patriot!
Play fake here on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
They're following the sack. They'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. From the gun, Edmonds, and that's complete to Jesse James. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion.
And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
He's going to let this one go deep. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
There's no shyness there pushing the ball downfield, but I like the coverage on the play. In good position. And when you have a 50-50 ball, who's going to come down with it? I like the way they made the play, came across, and knocked it away.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He sets to fire deep, and it's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31.
And Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They go play action here on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Now a carry here for the fullback. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's third down.
Well, he tried to bounce it outside, but that's obviously not his game. He's too much of a straight line runner.
Yeah, him in the outer third of the field, not a recipe for success. That time a loss.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
Atkins to throw. Throwing on third and long. He completes it to Boyd. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
And the Giants send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the second time. How does the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here? That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves. Maybe
It got his man complete. The 20, 10, touchdown, New Orleans. A big play there. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Saints have taken the early lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And the Giants ready to come out now. And this is their third drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily. You're right, but he did there. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. It's a loss of 2, now third down. He already has 2 sacks to his credit, now another tackle for loss.
And you know how you can always identify who was supposed to block him? They're the ones helping up the person who just got knocked to the ground with the ball, right? Whether it's a running play or a pass play, they've got to figure out a way to slow him down. Maybe you chip him with a second guy. Maybe you just out-and-out double him. Maybe you make sure you take the ball and throw it as far away from him as possible. Because right now, he is wrecking things for them.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1 play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1 play drive.
And that's caught inside the 30. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 45 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, They're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. Rolling to his right. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Looking to throw. Flush to his right. Going for it all. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. Back to throw. And he's got Rodgers. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll look to throw again. Oh, and it's incomplete. That would have been big in the end zone if he could have held on. Instead, it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal. Again, he'll drop to throw. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out.
Illegal touching. Offense.
So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement, and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
They'll try to run it in. It's Kamara. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. A great effort there with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Saints add on to their lead.
But they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times that's a passing play.
And the kicker just has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
Lutz now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
Well, they were going draw play there. The defense wasn't fooled. They sniffed it out.
I think they're going to have to go back and take a few more acting classes, because that's what a lot of that is. You've got to influence them to think that it's going to be a pass play and have them drop out and maybe the defensive front coming forward and find yourself some space. In this case, no one was fooled and ended up spilling that play pretty well. Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a game, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Looking to throw. Adkins.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's going to air. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. There he goes left side. Touchdown, New Orleans. A big play there. 76 yards. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And New York set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield. Well, after what we just saw, we know that with third down coming up, this is not a gimme for the offense. They've got to figure out what they want to do. Do they challenge their offensive line and try and run it? Or do they go ahead and concede that this is a tough defense and put it in the air?
It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. Now you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 16 carries, 76 yards.
And he's hoping to have the same type of game, but he's going up against the #1 defense in the league, and they're very good at fitting the run. So now you've got to think offensive strategy, maybe a little more play action, and try and find some people open downfield.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down.
All right, here we go.
On third down, it's Shelton fighting through. And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Set. 3-19. 3-19.
Right back to him on first down. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style of running in order to get this guy going.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he's taken down here by the Saints.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
This offense 2 for 2 on third downs on this drive. They're in for a tough test here, though. 3rd and long. Atkins now off the play fake. And the pressure gets to him again.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
And the Giants send out their punter now as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line. Gets around him, and now running right through him. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And he's looked pretty good. Does have the 1 interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis.
They'll take the offset. When you talk about throwing 2 touchdown passes, no one wants to see an interception thrown, but those things happen in the course of a ball game and over the course of the season. But throwing 2...
He's got a man complete. Past the 20. Touchdown, New Orleans. A big play there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Saints add on to their lead. So not only is that his 3rd touchdown catch of the game, he's done it here in the first half.
I'm not sure defensively what they're going to come up with to slow him down, because already we're seeing him run past, over, through guys in order to make these catches. And being able to try and shut him down at this stage of the game, it's going to take a lot of effort. So maybe it'll open things up for some other people.
Well, they better figure something out, and soon. Time for Tyler Boyd and the rest of the offense to take over now. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us. But sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
And that's a nice gain by him on first down, picking up some key yardage.
Now Atkins to throw on 2nd down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's Atkins throwing on first down. He gets this one to Boyd. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
When you struggle on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Gets this one to Morris. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Now let's go! Blue line it! Blue line!
Atkins, off play action. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans.
Flex round! Flex round! Here we go! What? 90! What?
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Going for the deep ball. And got his man complete. And all the way down to the 42. It's a big play there for the Saints. 53 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Going up top. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And that's now the second time he's picked off a pass here in the first half alone. Again, another great read defensively. And you just see him get in the right position to make the play and get his guys the football back.
Atkins to throw. Throwing to start the drive. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd. it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. And the safety there, another mistake, and these mistakes just keep piling up.
How many more can they make? They put themselves in such a massive hole now. Going to be difficult to dig out from under.
Yeah, for sure they can't afford anymore at this point. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something.
It's caught inside the 25. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 54 yards. The last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there's a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen guys throw 5 and still find a way to win the game in the end.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
The way he's been slinging in the first half, you expect everything he throws to go for a touchdown, but I guess he's going to have to wait to try and pick up that third, isn't he?
Yeah, I thought he had him for a second, but you're right, not to be. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. As his guys are in for 6, and the Saints are pouring it on. A diving catch for the score. He laid out. That was special.
And you know the first thing they're going to check, right? Did he complete the process of the catch? All the way through, all the way to the ground. Ball doesn't hit the ground without control in his hands. All of that, yes. Check the box. Touchdown.
Lutz now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit. Maybe featuring other people touching it for a while. And then you get a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
There's still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
3-19.
To throw on second down. Atkins over the middle, complete. That's James. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
On 3rd down, it's Shelton, and he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches.
And that's why you spend a first-round draft pick on a running back, not for just the fancy runs, but these dirty, gritty 3rd and 1s, 3rd and 2s. That's why you draft him.
Quick throw, that's complete on the inside slant. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. It'll be a gain of 2, and speaking of 2s, it'll take us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to East Rutherford, but first this timeout. Coming up at the half, a reminder we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Back to throw. Atkins. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 23 yards on the play.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
But it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
11 more on that one and another first down.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there, and if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
And he is going to lose yardage here. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Now let's go.
Atkins now. Looking to throw on second down. And, boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
13 seconds, the time remaining in the half as they come up on first down.
Ohio! 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 Ohio!
They'll look to throw here on first down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Let's round! Let's round!
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. He's going to air one out. And incomplete on the deep ball. We now proceed to the start of the second half. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Saints out on top. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spend the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the...
And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 26. It's a big play there for the Saints. 49 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
He's going to go up top for the end zone. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll set up a throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
They'll set up to throw. He's going to let it go deep. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. DJ Moore with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Saints just continue to roll. Lutz with the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. Lutz now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the third quarter. They trail offense first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn.
And he's taken down here by the Saints.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
They went backwards 5 yards there on third down to bring up fourth. And the Giants send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Pulled in at the 24. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Saints coming out now to take the field. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you, because this was just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the road
true.
to be fairly clear
That is
by the time we have to leave the...
And that's caught inside the 30. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 41 yards.
Really good recognition of the offensive line of the blitz. They picked it up, allowed for more time to throw the ball deep downfield, and a big-time completion.
Back to throw here. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Looking, and this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Dane Cruikshank. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in
Season of
December,
giving.
right? It is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Set. Green 39.
Now Atkins on 3rd down. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And the Giants send out their punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. That's caught inside the 20. It's a big play there for the Saints. 55 yards. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory? Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. In for the score. And the Saints are pouring it on. And he's such a talented tight end, just creates nightmarish-type matchups on the other side.
He's so good that when we say tight end, we're almost damning him with faint praise, aren't we? Because he can do it all. He's as good as any receiver in the NFL.
Well, that's the deal. He's a wide receiver, just in a bigger body.
Bigger body, a matchup nightmare, and who's going to cover? When I sit in the film session, I just look at the coach and say, really? Really? You're going to yell at me? You go cover him.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. They'll look to throw now on first down. He's going to go for a big play. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off at the 39. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected?
And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12.
All right, here we go.
False start's going to push him back, but these days, how hard must it be to be an offensive lineman?
It's very hard, Brandon. You've got defensive linemen flinching, trying to draw you offside. You've got the loud crowds, and there are just so many super athletic players on defense now that you have to deal with each week. But through it all, these guys just sit in there for 4 quarters and slug it out.
Here we go. 3-19.
Here's Atkins to throw on 2nd down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Give him 8 on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
Throw left side complete. It's Fisher. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now a handoff looking right. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
Now let's go. 3-19.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Atkins. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside, probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
A 5-yard loss there is going to bring up 4th down. And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. On the right hash, officially, this will be a 51-yard attempt. And Rosas puts this one through. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit 3rd quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And this is caught at the 20. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 59 yards.
That was good coverage, but it was an even better catch. Great job by both of them, but only one of them ultimately was the winner coming down with the football.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week, he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week, he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away this timing.
The improv act there, good for 9, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1. The Saints on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
Flex round! Flex round!
On play action, they'll throw. His pass caught at the 4. And he will have the 1st down before he's brought down at the 3. Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up 1st and goal now.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes You're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They'll drop to throw. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. As his guys are in for 6, and the Saints just continue to roll.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Lutz now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. I mean, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Set. Blue line it.
Atkins throwing on 3rd and long. And he's taken down here by the Saints.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Ohio. Ohio.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. Oh, he breaks a tackle, and he's got an alley. He'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line. Drop to throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. It's caught inside the 25. It's a big play there for the Saints. 42 yards. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. In for the score. And the Saints are pouring it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
Yeah, they are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And New York set to take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out.
Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Looking to throw. Atkins. Call it a loss of 12 that time. And it's going to be 3rd down and forever. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Hurry up, here we go.
And they'll go on the ground. And this one will be taken up. They'll spot it right at the 7. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Well, the guys who are paid to make the tackles deserve some kudos there, but I think they deserve even bigger ones because in that situation, they had to be thinking pass. Loosened up defense, go into pass coverage. Instead, maybe they surprised them a little bit running the ball, yet they rallied to it and stopped them well short of a first down.
The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? Best teams we've seen so far this year.
Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 48 yards. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
The 3 red zone trips, 3 touchdowns so far. They'll look for a 4th on 2nd and goal.
Come on, let's go. Red 38. Red 38.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5. The delay of game, a costly one, as they're backed up 5 for 1st and goal. They're going to look to throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great play there with his 13th touchdown of the year and 2nd of the game. And the Saints just continue to roll. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
Here we go now. Blue line.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. Well, there they went blitz defensively, Charles, and things were paved well coming from the linebacker position.
I love the way that you described it, paved well. Oftentimes, the guy who gets home on the blitz, he's going to get all the credit. But his teammates did all the dirty work, right? They ran into people on purpose. They sometimes tugged on jerseys to hold linemen to create space and gaps. And that play finished off really, really well. Well conceived, well designed, and even better executed.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
4 down, 4 down. Now let's go. 3-19.
Atkins to throw. From the gun, he'll throw. Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. And the Giants send out their punter now, standing just outside his own goal line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones.
And that's caught inside the 35. It's a big play there for the Saints. 45 yards.
And they just hit another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
It's the age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And however it turns out, it turns out.
That good for 22 and a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
He'll get it up the middle, and he's able to find some room as they get him down after a good run. A good pickup there, 7 yards, and it's going to be 2nd and goal now.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
Fourth quarter with a lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on first down. They did that plus 3.
They'll run it with Kamara. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. No gain on the play. And what to do now on 4th and goal?
Now, this feels like old-school football because this has turned into a good old-fashioned goal line stand. So on offense, what do you do now? Do you decide to run it or throw it if you go for it on 4th down?
They run. It's Kamara. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is on. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. Oh, and it's no good. He tugged it wide left, and that will keep our score right where it is. Lutz now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now on 1st and 10. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now.
And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Now Atkins looking to throw on 2nd down.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop it.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
12 yards on the return that time, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They have the big cushion here in the final stages of this one. I don't know if there's any better feeling than being up big on the road.
There really can't be, because for a team to go on the road and win in the NFL, that's huge to begin with. But just think about all the preparation that went into it.
And this is caught at the 20. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 42 yards.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
Well, right now, maybe they're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone if they win big.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll set them back 5.
Still first down.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Flex round! Flex round!
That one looks like he'll throw here. And this will be caught. Well, forget taking the knee. Some late gamesmanship here as they throw for a late touchdown.
Well, I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
Exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head. But
that's
the
about
virtual
it.
guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continue.
It's one of them ones, man.